Coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. In the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
How do we not open with a little Kurt Angle? I'm not going to assume that's Tara. Hey, Tara.
Yeah, that's very appropriate to open with Kurt Angle tonight, man, as we discuss all things wrestling on the War Report. It's me and Steve tonight. I think Ryan might join us in a little bit. I'm driving, as you can see. So if I don't look directly at the camera, it's because I'm driving. So don't mind. But welcome to the show, guys. Steve, what do you think, man? Kurt Angle's back. Well, at least for one night.
Listen, anytime you get Angle, it's a good deal. Although it's just, he has a tough time talking. That
really
hasn't changed. He really does, and that sucks. But I'll tell you what, I kind of wanted. Hi, Tara. I kind of wanted to start with SmackDown and work our way to Raw, but I have to say, the shush off was one of the greatest fucking things I've ever seen. I could listen to Gabe for days. He has just done such a great job with this new gimmick. And then Angle's always been good with that kind of shit. So you put them together in a shush off, it was just gold. And then you throw in the Profits and a good match, and then chugging of milk. And I mean, it all worked. It was just very cool. And I guess we'll dive more into it, but I wanted to get that out because to me, that was just fucking awesome. Ryan, what's going on, bud?
For sure.
Not much. How are we doing today?
We're doing.
Yeah, man. It's weird, Steve. Before we get to SmackDown, it's just weird that they had American Alpha, they had the two guys, and now they have Gable, and it took them how many years to figure out that, hey, maybe Kurt Angle, fans are saying it. Hey, Gable kind of reminds me of Angle. Why aren't they together? It took them this long to get them to interact like this. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, yeah, but Angle probably hasn't been really that accessible lately. I mean, it doesn't. I say that, but I also think that I've been hearing is that he's done. He wants nothing to do with getting back in the ring, and then hyping his return to Raw. Now I'm hearing that he might be open to one last match. So, who knows?
Appearances are great.
You see fucking Ric Flair do it, and then you're like, oh, well, Flair can do it,
I think he thinks Triple H will allow him to pick his final opponent, not Vince, where Vince would be like, oh, you're getting this guy.
Exactly what happened. That was what they did. I was so pissed that Corbin was Angle's last match. And then, of course, because when you retire, you're supposed to put somebody over. Of course, Angle loses to Corbin, but now Corbin's just been a loser. It's not like Corbin beat Kurt Angle and is now like a world champion. Corbin has just been a fucking loser ever since and before that. So the whole shit made no sense.
Very true. That, I mean, look what Cena did for Bray Wyatt, and he was released how long after?
Right, and somebody on Twitter, I think it was Sean Ross Sapp, one of the Dirt Sheet writers, said, it's amazing what a regime change can do, or something along those lines. So, like, guys like Bray, who we'll get into, and guys like Cross and other people who we didn't think would ever have a shot coming back, all of a sudden,
are back and right in the mix.
The landscape is wide open. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the possibility, even now I'm hearing they're reaching out, trying to get Strowman to come back, although I don't think they have a prayer, because everything I'm hearing is very happy.
Braun Strowman back?
Well, I'm just everything I'm hearing. He doesn't want to be locked down to a contract, and he's happy doing his control narrative shit. And what up, man? I'm
Which
not sure who this is, but what up? Oh, hey, Kevin. I guess it's Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
The NWA got invaded by Control Your Narrative the other day on their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and like nobody cared, but hey, it happened. So at least Control Your Narrative, we know, is still running shows.
Nobody
Are they
cared,
though?
huh? So they got the Aaliyah treatment, although she was in her own fucking country.
Yeah. Okay. So can we just talk about this for? I mean, I guess we can't because that's Monday Night Raw. But this thing,
Fuck it. Go
Let's
to
do
Raw.
it.
How the fuck is she a tag
every
champion?
show is okay. Every show we go, this girl stinks. She has no personality. She can't even be a manager. And now, of course, she's a champion, which makes perfect fucking sense.
Triple H has a hard on for her, and I don't know what it is.
Seems
Somebody
like
likes her, apparently. I mean, maybe she's likable. That's a possibility. She could just be nice.
Listen, she's committed. I mean, how long was she in NXT before they actually pulled the trigger and she didn't bail? So I guess you got to give credit.
Her and Montez Ford.
Her personality sucks.
Or not Montez, Dawkins.
Yeah.
Dawkins was the one that was there forever, and they finally found something for him.
I just don't get it. I just, it's the girl gets no fucking crowd reaction, but okay, we're gonna put the tag titles on her. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that this is just a placeholder team for Sasha and Naomi to win them back.
I was gonna say that actually.
Right, but does that mean if Aaliyah and Raquel are good guys, that means Sasha and Naomi come back as bad guys?
They still could be good guys against the Bayley-led faction.
That's true.
Right, but so maybe the Bayley faction screws that team, Raquel and Aaliyah out of their titles, and then Sasha and Naomi come back to like defend everybody's honor. I don't know.
I don't know. This whole fucking thing was doomed from the start.
Like, I hate to be that guy, but like, how many do people give a shit about women's wrestling? I'm sorry, like, I know this is gonna sound so bad. I don't care as much about women's wrestling as I do. Like, I don't care about Sasha and Naomi half as much as I care about like Kenny Omega or a Matt Riddle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we have to have women's tag team titles in the first place. And I mean that for NXT, WWE, AEW. It just it's already a small pool of women that you have to pick from for singles stuff. And now you have to have women's tag team. It just seems like a who gives a shit division. I don't get it.
Yeah, you're just dwindling your singles division to create a tag division.
Exactly.
Makes no fucking sense.
And, that's not a knock on women's wrestling and the quality, but it's just that it's kind of like the WNBA, where there's like really good players in the WNBA, but there's like 5 great players. And then the rest of them are just kind of like, they're good enough to play pro sports. And that's kind of what it is with some women's divisions. There's like 5 great women, maybe. And then you have like just a bunch of filler. And it's like, well, then you tag team matches become filler upon filler. And I don't know.
I mean, look at half the teams were just jammed together.
Well, and then the ones that weren't got injured. Like that was a cursed tournament, man.
The best case scenario would have been Gigi and the other one staying healthy and winning the tournament.
Well, yeah, that would have probably been, honestly, I think that could have been the plan, and then have Sasha and Naomi beat them, because that's easy. The crowd would cheer Sasha and Naomi over Toxic Attraction, so that would have been an easy transition.
That's if they're even going back into the tag division.
Well, that's true too.
But the rumor is that they're coming back as a tag team. They're coming back supposedly to help, get this women's tag team division off the ground, which is a great,
Vince, we lost you, bud.
On the program, it's a noble goal, but also, like, I don't know, man. Like,
then we get people like, nothing against Raquel, but Raquel and Aaliyah, it does nothing for me. That is not, I'm not going, oh man, I can't wait until the next pay-per-view to see these women defend those titles that nobody's had for 2 months and everybody forgot about.
And Raquel's not the problem; it's Aaliyah.
Yeah,
That's true. But I'm just saying she's being brought down now, you know?
I agree.
It's a stupid team.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear. A little low, but
I would have rather had. I don't even know. This whole tournament sucked. It really, like, it was a great idea, but there was just too much that went wrong from the beginning.
yeah, especially with injuries. But how can you you can't cancel a tournament because one team got hurt?
No, of course not. But it's
They
just all
had,
these
they had to make like
teams are
3
just not working.
substitutions.
Yeah,
Right. I don't know.
You want to go back to SmackDown now, Steve? Because you say you want to open with that, but then we started on this tangent.
Well, I mean, we're on Raw. We might as well just do Raw and go
That's
back
true.
to SmackDown. So we had it's way to get eyes on the show, because they put that footage of that brawl hours before on social media everywhere.
that was
So
great.
it got people wanting to tune in. And there was an F-bomb that was dropped too.
Right?
You don't hear that very often.
during the brawl.
During the interview.
Yeah.
The additional part of the interview, even.
Well, that was cool because like
the build with these two is great.
You know, they're finally doing something with both of these guys, which is wonderful. It seemed like both of them were kind of just, I don't know, just in limbo.
I appreciate how they did the mics were still growing, so it gave allowance for dropping an F-bomb.
Oh, well, if you remember a couple years ago, it was John Jones and DC, Daniel Cormier, did an ESPN interview. And they did, this was real though. The mics were hot, but they weren't live yet, but the cameras were rolling. And the guys were like, you know, I'm going to mess you up. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to this and that. And he's like, you really think you can beat me? Like they did all this shit talking. And, but it was captured as a real, this wasn't them like on the air. This was before they went on. And I like that, you know, here's the thing, Vince McMahon wouldn't have known that happened until like 2024 or something. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have found out about that until years later. So like, I'm glad somebody aware of like pop culture is running the show. And the social media thing's great because like a fight before the show that you promote to get people to watch the show. Like these are all little things that Vince forgot. Like as he got older, he just forgot to do.
Yeah, even the vignettes. Like, look what they've been doing with the Viking Raiders, and like, you know, it's like he was the master of that at one point, and then it just kind of fizzled out. You also notice too, it's no longer Riddle. He's back to being Matt Riddle and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
they're getting rid of that shit too.
Names.
They were stupid to make one word names, especially like Theory.
Well, yeah, because Theory is like, isn't that like a women's clothing store in the mall? It's like just not a good name. Like Theory is like I think they spell it differently, but like it's weird. It's just not a good name for a person. It's a good name for an ethereal concept that you know.
No, it's exactly spelled Theory.
Oh, okay. What is it? Women's clothes?
Yep. Women's bestsellers. I'm looking at it right now.
Bestsellers, even better. So yeah, Austin Theory had the name of a women's clothing store that's in my local mall. So maybe
no, it's a woman's and men's. It's a contemporary clothing store.
Oh geez, I would never shop there. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, back to having real names like human beings, which is wonderful because they're human beings. I know they're wrestlers, but they're human beings, so we should treat them as such.
Weird.
Yeah,
Whatever
but,
thought that.
So I kind of want to,
Certainly not
right?
Vince.
I mean, instead of treating them like action figures. But Raw, what was? Keep going with Raw here, Steve. What's our next? What's the next segment you want to talk about?
I don't know, Ryan. What else was like a highlight? I mean, the shush off
We had
was
the,
the highlight
Judgment
for
Day.
me. Yeah,
The-
yeah. All right. Well,
It was.
All right,
It
so
wasn't a highlight, but it happened.
it did.
What happened?
Well, so they did the Judgment Day
Right.
versus Dolph Ziggler and
AJ
AJ
and,
Styles.
yep.
And then it was a good match, but Judgment Day wins, cuts a promo. They call out Edge. Edge comes out, cuts a promo, says he's not there alone. Then Judgment Day gets attacked by the Mysterios. Then they have a whole melee. And then it ends with Rhea Ripley taking the kendo stick away from Dominic because he wouldn't hit her with it. And then that was pretty much it. I don't know. I'm so fucking over Judgment Day at this point. It does nothing for me, so I don't even care.
Yeah.
They basically
At least they
need to
got a win.
reset this. Yeah. But Ryan, they need
I mean,
to
that's
reset.
something.
Here's what they need. They just need to go at the next pay-per-view. Edge needs to turn on Edge and Dominic need to turn on Ray, and both of them need to join Judgment Day, and Edge becomes the leader again, and we'll just forget the last 3 or 4 months ever happened.
Yeah. That seems like the best route.
I mean, there are.
Dominic's not going to hit. Like, the only thing they can do is if Dominic's not going to hit the girl, which I get, they don't want the guy to hit the girl, then Beth Phoenix has to come back and do it, or Alexa has to get at it, or somebody. You know, they need a female for that faction.
Well, they're
Or-
teasing. They're teasing that. They're teasing that she's gonna take on Rhea Ripley.
Thank God.
Yeah, they're teasing it. It's gonna happen.
And it should be a good match.
Yeah, it should be. And I'm okay with it. Why not?
Oh, hell yeah. And Beth's gonna do the right thing. She's gonna put the girl over, and everybody's gonna look good. And
I can't see her not putting her over.
no, she could. Like I said last week, she has to put her over in the singles match, the multi-person match at the pay-per-view, whatever. But like straight up one-on-one, Rhea has to win because she's the future of that division.
She's the leader of Judgment Day.
She really is.
She feels like it, at least.
I mean, she's the only one that has any kind of authority. Finn is like this tiny little Irishman. And I mean, Damian Priest is cool and all, but like, he doesn't give me faction leader vibes. He gives me bouncer vibes. Like, you're the guy, like,
Yes.
if you're a mob boss, you hire that guy.
Agreed.
So I like him, and I think he's good in the group, but this all just worked better with Edge in there. And imagine if Vince fucking stepped down like a month earlier. We should still have Edge in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That whole thing was fucked from the beginning.
Once they did that
I
injury
agree.
thing and took Edge out, it just lost a lot of steam.
Yeah. Not a fan.
And then he was off TV.
Right,
Yeah.
for weeks.
Yeah, so it was like out of sight, out of mind. And then he comes back and he's not in the Judgment. I don't know. The return was fine, but the whole time off thing was kind of shitty.
And it's not like Judgment Day went on a winning streak there.
Right?
Well, that's just it. Baylor takes
killed
over,
their
and they
credibility.
they didn't win shit. I don't know. I'm starting to get over Finn Balor too, as sad as that is. Like, I don't like him as a heel. I don't.
He's
No,
not doing
but I mean-
anything that
Yeah.
heelish. He's a typical heel.
Yeah, I don't like him as a heel.
I agree. And
What's
they dropped
the
the
equivalent
interesting
of a
thing
white
about
meat baby face, but for a heel?
Ryan, you nailed it.
Yeah, seriously. Sorry, what else on Raw?
And he reigns 2 years as champion.
Yeah. The Kevin Owens match with one of the Usos,
Oh, yeah.
with tensions with the Usos and Sami Zayn. With Zayn not hitting KO with the chair.
You know, I'm at least interested in where this is going because Sammy and Kevin have said they want to be they're best friends. They want to be tag team champs together in real life. So like that's been a goal of theirs for years. I would be so okay with them beating the Usos for that, and then either of them challenging Reigns or whoever the champion is after Clash of the Castle. That would be real cool. And I just, the Clash of the Castle. Clash of the Castle could, as we're talking about this whole main event scene, if Roman drops one or both of those titles, it opens up the main event division. Like if Drew wins it, Sammy can challenge, KO can challenge, Riddle can challenge, Rollins can challenge, and it would be credible. You look at all these guys, you go, none of them can fight Roman Reigns right now because he just smushes them. But if there's another champ in the mix, then you got a little bit more diversity in your main event.
Eddie, what's going on, brother?
I'm waiting.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Say the thing, Eddie.
Good,
Come
good.
on.
Good. What was that, buddy?
Say the thing. How many days?
I believe today marks 2 exact years as champion. 730 days.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Right?
There we go.
And you know what? I'm glad you're on, bud, because I gotta have this conversation. We might as well have it now. Because everything in my gut is telling me that Roman is losing at the fucking pay-per-view, bro. I don't know. I'm really starting to go that way.
Steve.
He's going to open church on you.
After the ass whooping that Drew took on SmackDown, I honestly don't see it. I mean,
actually, that ass whipping is part of the reason why I do think he's going over.
I see.
I mean, you got to think about it this way. All right, Reigns has the bloodline. He has everyone with him. He has honorary Uso, which lets us, how fantastic is Sami Zayn with the bloodline. Can we give a shout out to the honorary Uso?
Sami Zayn is fucking amazing.
Yo, he is.
I fucking love him. He's awesome.
I tune in on Friday really obviously to see he's a trip. He just has me dying all the time. I'm a huge fan right now of Sami and him battling. He's really cool with, Jimmy, but Jay and him is still, working out and hashing things out. I think it's awesome. No, I mean everything. I get. What?
He's so fucking good that the one Uso that he's beefing with broke character during his promo because
instead of rolling, you peeped that in the back,
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, so I'm getting. I don't know if you guys are getting this. I'm getting with especially with Sammy and Reigns, kind of like a rock and sock type deal. Remember
such a great comparison.
Similar.
Yes.
That's kind of what I get when I see that. And that those two together, they crack me up. Like Reigns is like, like real cool. Like, hey, how you doing, man? I was like, like it's a trip. So I'm a huge fan of what's going on with the bloodline right now. If I wasn't before, right? But I mean, to go back and talk about what you're just saying, I'm a McIntyre. I mean, and this is me right now as a wrestling fan. If there's anyone out there, right, to take it, we've always said, like, someone big, someone credible. And, yeah, Drew could be that guy. Obviously, I probably wouldn't be happy about it, but it's still what it is. I mean, it's Reigns is, breaking records left and right. But in reality, if you still want to go ahead and, give the belt to someone, I'd be, wouldn't be mad if it was Drew, because that's someone that's, worked his ass off and he's done the work to, get to where he's at. So that's cool, but we can see what happens there. I mean, then we could have the battles with Karrion Kross. We got Karrion Kross making his debut, official. Let's just say official debut this coming Friday.
Yeah, we're straight up pretending like the first time never happened.
It just never happened.
And I'm totally okay with it. Treat us like idiots on this one because I'm good with it.
So we're gonna get to see that. So Friday is about to be pretty lit, as the kids say in the streets.
What do you guys think? Besides Eddie, because obviously we already know what he's going to think. Do you guys
Yeah.
think that Roman's keeping the belts?
I can see him dropping one.
So my
we're
question
like-
to you is this: you say dropping one, but in reality, when he's defending that title, is he defending both? Because they have not clarified any of that shit.
Well, no, they've always been saying it's for both belts, but my thinking is that's when like Raw comes and Heyman comes back
Yeah.
and says, "You idiots didn't read the condition
Oh, the
where
fine
it
print,
was
the
only
fine
where
print.
it was only one belt,
See,
not two." Like,
Everyone needs a Jew in their life. I'm telling you.
you know what I mean? But that
Fine
that would
print.
make
Heyman's
sense.
dad's a lawyer.
Is
Yeah,
Heyman's dad still
but I
alive?
also-
Because he was old as shit when I met
No,
him.
I think he's gone.
I think
But,
he's gone.
Also, while we're on it, since we are on a podcast here, rest in peace to Mr. Ben Stern. Howard Stern's father passed away a couple weeks ago, and
fucking horrible.
man, that guy was a legend because he was a radio guy before Howard was a radio guy and got him into
Yeah.
it. So like, there was no Howard Stern without Ben, and of course his wife Ray, who's also up there in age now. But rest in peace, Ben Stern. You do need a Jew in your life, everybody. You know, that's the lesson.
No, but it's horrible too, man. I feel bad, man. Like you knew it was coming because he's up there and she's not doing well. And now that he's gone, I'm sure that's going to be, unfortunately, not too far gone.
Right.
But yeah, rest in peace, Ben Stern, man. That was horrible news.
Right. Yeah, but for this, so here's the thing about this Clash of the Castle. Remember a couple, like maybe it was a year or two ago, they filmed these things, these vignettes with Drew McIntyre, and he's wearing a kilt, and he's like climbing mountains in Scotland and throwing barrels over his head and shit.
Yeah.
So they're kind of doing updated, not like running up a mountain like Rocky, but like the promos that they're playing for English, Scottish, UK, whatever European people is Drew is bringing it home. Like they've been saying that for England with the soccer, like the World Cup, it's coming home. They're doing that thing with Drew. They're like, it's coming home. He's going to bring it back to our home. Even though Scotland and England and the U, they all kind of have a hinky little history there. But like the story is like Drew is fighting for all of that portion of Europe and like bringing the title back to the Scottish Isles or whatever.
Tara says, I did until I heard your reasons why he wasn't, and now I think he's losing. Sorry, Eddie.
Eddie's changing minds in the wrong way, man.
I think
Sorry,
she was
Purple Heart.
referring to my explanation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys will all be disappointed.
I wouldn't be disappointed.
No,
Actually, Eddie, I got to be honest. I'll be disappointed if Roman loses.
oh, there we go.
Oh, really?
So I will say that. I'm just saying I don't think I think he's going to lose, but
Does feel that time.
this is the best Roman we've ever had. I would have this for another year and I wouldn't complain.
Another year, I'd complain.
That year would be much, but like WrestleMania is coming up, and from a recent interview with Roman Reigns, the quote that he put out was, "The match with The Rock is closer than it's ever been to happening." So maybe they're gonna make this shit happen.
Yeah, that shit's happening. But see, and that's the thing too. I've been saying that match is so much bigger than the belts. The belts don't have to be in the equation. They're
Right.
fighting
Yeah,
to see who the true head of the table is. So, that's bigger than any belt.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
I mean,
Rock would have to win a number one, like the Rumble or some other number one contenders thing.
If they're going to go back to Brock.
Yep.
There's
If
many
I'm
other-
saying if the
Under
titles are
30.
involved.
Listen, with the changes Triple H has been making, don't be surprised if it's not the typical, oh, they're going to just bring Brock back and give him the strap. Notice how guys like Ricochet are getting more TV time than ever.
Yep.
Shit like that. So I'm not saying Ricochet is going to be champion, by the way, or win the Rumble. I'm just saying, like, you're seeing changes. So we can't just automatically assume it's going to be Brock. We could get, thrown for a loop, and I'm good with that too.
No, I think if I've said it before, man, I'm putting my money. If anybody's going to really, aside from Drew this weekend, who has a shot, if anybody's really going to dethrone Roman right now, they need supernatural, spooky shenanigans. The guy's so strong, you need the Fiend to beat him. The only
Sounds to
person
me
that
like
can-
you're
you know
talking
what
about
I
Bray
mean?
fucking Wyatt. That's right.
Or
Where the
Karrion
fuck is
Kross.
Bray?
Which is also the guy who, if I'm correct, he took the title off of, correct? And that triple threat
Correct.
between Braun Strowman
Yeah.
and the Fiend.
Oh shit, that's
Yep.
right. There's a
So
story already there.
that was August 30th, 2020.
Yeah.
And today is August 30th, 2022. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And there were rumors, Steve. You said last night, you were telling me, I don't want to hear about any rumors unless they're about Bray Wyatt. Well, the
Yes.
rumor mill is churning specifically about Bray Wyatt coming back. It got real hot over the weekend. People
Oh,
thought maybe
I've
he was
been
gonna
seeing it.
debut.
I've been seeing it. There were people thinking he was going to show up on Raw last night.
I was waiting for it, man.
I mean, listen,
Right.
did I hear it right that this Clash pay-per-view is 70,000 strong right now? Is that true?
oh yeah, it's like a soccer stadium over there.
Yeah, that is fact.
All right. So I'm just saying, if there's a way to bring the Fiend back, you bring him back in front of 70,000 fucking people.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, man.
And I'm going to be so fucking pissed because it's a Saturday at 1 p.m. and I cannot take off.
Oh, you're working.
I feel that.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
have to
can't do it.
mute
Watch
that
it till
chat.
Sunday.
I'll be at work myself.
Fucking Christ. But yeah, I mean, what a better way than in front of 70,000 strong.
Yep. And also, just quick, not to shift for gears, but is All Out this coming Saturday as well? Or is that Sunday?
Hold on.
Sunday.
Sunday.
believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
I'll
it's
double
Sunday.
check
And
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, fucking, you're right though, Eddie. Dynamite. There was this very, very big surprise title unification match finish on Dynamite, where this was supposed to be the pay-per-view match. Moxley steamrolls Punk and beats him in like 3 minutes, clean as a whistle. Punk claiming to re-injure his foot, and now we technically don't have a main event for the All Out pay-per-view.
They're still
The rumor is
promoting.
they're gonna.
They're
yeah.
still promoting Punk. So, how serious was the re-injury? What the fuck really happened? That's what I want to know, because there's more to it than that.
Well,
They're saying there's a
we were
lot of
talking about last
backstage
week.
shenanigans about, like, I guess there's actual, like, animosity between like heat backstage between Punk and obviously Hangman, and like a lot of other stuff that's going on with, you know, the Young Bucks camp, if you will, right? Young Bucks, Omega, and then you have like people who are professional, they coming in from WWE. Like you have people like, you know, Punk, and you have the Daniel Bryans, and some guys are not willing to basically listen to like a CM Punk, right? These guys who've been doing this for so long, you know. There's a bunch of stuff that I was reading on some of the dirt sheets out there. I don't know if you guys been hearing stuff, but there is some stuff. I guess Tony Khan held a meeting backstage, and
Mandatory meeting.
a mandatory meeting where he pulled talent. So it doesn't seem like, you know, things in the AEW side of things doesn't seem to be all, you know, the grass is greener on the other side type deal.
I like what's going on because we don't exactly know, and I feel like there is true. I think there's absolutely stuff going on backstage because there always is. But I also feel like Tony Khan's starting to dip into that. Well, this is real life. Let's play with it a little. Let's tell some stuff to the dirt sheet guys, but it's not quite the truth. They're playing with it a little bit. So I like.
Yeah,
that's
they're
the
leaning
intriguing thing, is
into
that, like, you
the
know,
drama
right.
and allowing it to play on this main stage just
Well,
to have people. It's the Eric Bischoff thing. Everything might be fake, but this is real.
Controversy creates.
And not only that, but Tony Khan is on Busted Open Radio once a week, right before Dynamite.
Yeah.
So he's always like, you know, promoting and feeding into story, and you know, so who the fuck knows?
So he keeps he's keeping his ear to the streets. He's basically listening to what's going on. Okay.
He's not stupid.
No, I mean, hey, I hope not. I mean, sometimes I see the guy on TV. I don't know, but
Well, he just
Currently, they're
If I
not
look at him on
promoting.
TV, but
Go on. I'm sorry.
I think this guy also, when you look at him, he's obviously a weirdo, like, just looking at him off the rip, but like a smart weirdo. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those like Rain Man kind of guys.
Yeah, kind
And
of like Musk.
a true wrestling fan. True wrestling fan. This guy
Oh,
always
obsessive.
a fan.
Yeah.
Which is why AEW has been so fucking successful.
Any news on when that game is gonna drop? Is it 2022 or 2023? Because I don't know if you
can
guys
check
seen the leak footage to that. That looks actually fire. No Mercy is my favorite wrestling game of all time, and they're saying the game is actually going to be very similar. They took a lot from No Mercy, like the engine and how the gameplay it is. I'm stoked for that shit.
That's what I've heard.
I remember loving the gameplay, and I don't remember it at all now, but I remember loving it. So,
dude, I got my N64 downstairs. I like whip that out every now and then. I have somebody come over. I'm like, yo, let's throw on No Mercy. Let's rack it, and we just go at it for hours.
It's just a 2022 release. No official. Probably the fall.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Who
I think
knows,
they're trying to
right,
get
that-
it out during right before the holidays.
Yeah. But
Steve,
without game, no.
we might have to figure out a way to do like some type of Twitch thing. I still want to have these battles with Steve. I think we need to air them live.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
we got Twitch channel.
We got to figure. Okay, we have to figure out how to like get this on. I don't know shit about tech, so
I don't know shit about it either. Do you know
someone's
who
gonna
you're
have to
talking
hold. Someone's gonna have to hold our hands and
I'll do
walk
it.
us
I'll
through
make it happen.
Make it happen because I think
Make
me and
it
Steve
happen
will have
because I
some-
need to whoop his ass.
Bro, I'm gonna beat you twice on Sunday. I will whip your ass and 10 others who look just like you.
Don't sing it. Bring it. I can't wait to whip that ass. It's gonna be so much fun.
Your ass is grass, and I'm gonna smoke it. And I don't even smoke reefer like that.
We gotta figure it out. Seriously, we gotta play up.
I'll contact me. I
Yeah, we
can
gotta start-
get it
we
set up
should-
in a
we
minute.
should-
We'll do it in the chat. All
Tournament
right.
or something.
Yep.
Do like stream the tournament.
Oh, that'd be great. Get everybody who can play the game, have them have the game and do a
I'm
tournament.
definitely getting it. That looks. I love how that game looks. I know people are kind of criticizing it because it's not photorealistic, but like that's not what I want out of my wrestling video game. I want like an arcade style.
Yeah.
Have fun. Like I don't care that the sweat falls off of Randy Orton's balls in a realistic way, and whatever the new game.
But see, I do. I appreciate that shit. I do. The graphics are fucking insane. The realism. See, I love that kind of shit. So I'm loving the new WWE game. It's fantastic.
No, it's
I
definitely
still
World's
think
better
it's
than last
different
year.
styles, though.
Yeah, that game was a dumpster fire. Oh boy. Do you want me to pull up the cards for this week?
Sure.
Oh yeah, we are doing a pick'em, right?
Do you want to do one for All Out as well?
Sure. Let's fucking do it. Have fun.
Yeah, man.
I was going to mention,
I'll
though,
work for you.
AEW is not promoting Punk versus Moxley currently for All Out.
Oh.
I'm looking
gonna-
at the All Out
gonna-
page.
It's gonna be like a MJF situation. No.
They still have
I
Wednesday.
feel MJF's gonna like if there's a time for MJF to come out and try and assert himself as like a new top guy, it would be to like, all right, in my head, Sunday or Wednesday, Moxley goes, I'm gonna face on Sunday whoever wins the ladder match, the pre-show ladder match. Last Joker is MJF. He wins. He comes like and MJF challenges, and I would say beat him. Who cares if he's
Vince is having some technical difficulties, but I see where he's going with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, you were cutting in and out. Sorry, brother. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? They're keeping
Tony Khan just
MJF.
needs to pay the man, bro. Pay.
They're keeping this
MJF.
MJF thing so
Don't
fucking
lose
hush
him.
hush. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah,
I agree.
everything is so under wraps right now. It's crazy.
But in such a great way for a change. We're somewhat
yeah.
getting that element of
No,
surprise,
this is-
which I always complain we don't get enough of, you know?
Well, we're getting it on both sides. We're getting, the stuff in WWE that we haven't been getting, and the things that we've been kind of talking about over the years have been happening, and people getting featured that need to be featured, and signings that need to be signed, and all that. And it's happening in WWE, and it's happening in AEW because, 3 years in, you're not a new company anymore. You got all these new people and all these new personalities, and maybe there's drama backstage. But the drama backstage is what drives the TV program. That's always what it was. Shawn and Brett, the NWO, Hogan. Controversy creates cash, man.
Yep. You just have to make people believe just the smallest bit is real.
Yeah. Once there's that little doubt, if one part's real, then maybe the whole thing is real, So, yeah, I like that.
All
It's gonna be
right.
very interesting to see.
Yeah.
I just don't get the whole CM Punk thing. That 3 minutes, like, what the fuck?
I think it was
It's-
intentionally, it was to shock people, I think,
Yeah. If they had a classic, it wouldn't be talked about as much as the 5-minute squash.
Yeah, that's true.
At least in my
This is-
opinion.
I think it all tied into, at that point, people didn't know if Punk, there were rumors that he was going to walk out, that Punk was going to quit AEW. So maybe, the 5-minute match was, that was to punish Punk or to immediately strip him, something like that. It created more controversy because you were like, well, wait a minute. Is he going to walk off after this? Is that the last we've seen of CM Punk? Or is he going to come back for this pay-per-view? So,
Yeah. Or at least make you put that shadow of doubt that is he going to walk out? Now,
yeah, just
or
a sliver.
if he wasn't now, is he going to with that squash?
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? What does that say about Punk too, though? Just gonna walk out again? Like, are the fans gonna be so forgiving a second time?
His
Well, no,
diehard fans will be there always.
I don't know if it would be
I don't doubt it.
I don't think he's going to do a real walk-off. I think he could do a fake walk-off to generate, to get people to boo him. I think this is all headed towards CM Punk turning heel, one way or another.
I can see that.
It'd be a good chance to turn him heel.
I mean, he's not going to get booed in Chicago. I get that, but everywhere else, if he turns heel, they're gonna,
That
Figure
Dynamite
that-
after would be a great time. Have him come out and just drop another pipe bomb, but on the crowd.
if he came, I was thinking that I was like, the only way he could turn heel in Chicago is to, talk shit about his own city.
Even then, I think the crowd would side with him.
Right? Didn't they do it with Chris Jericho one time? He said, "You are idiots" or "You are morons." And then,
Yeah, they chanted, "We are idiots."
Yeah. So maybe they can't win. I don't know.
It
But, I
feels
mean,
like Punk has enough cachet to turn against the crowd and have the crowd side with him.
Speaking of Jericho for a second, why is he still coming out to Judas and he's supposed to be a heel? The fans still love that song. They keep on singing that shit to the top of their lungs every time he comes out and makes his entrance. I think he should take Judas away from the crowd, from the fans. Just take it away.
Well,
Jericho wanted to play a slower down version from what I heard, but Khan shot it down, if I remember
Why would he shut it down? He should be like, I'm taking this away from you. You guys don't deserve to sing Judas.
that would have been great. I agree.
Oh, it would have been great. I think it just, there's too much crowd interaction to take it away from a promoter standpoint. Storyline standpoint, it makes sense.
But it's also one of those things where, if it goes away for a while,
It comes back hotter.
oh my God, people
That's
the
what I'm
first
saying,
time they hear Judas again, people would
Yeah.
flip. Yeah.
Who knows how long does AEW have Jericho?
I think he signed to 5 years, 3 years ago.
Because wasn't WWE putting out feelers for Jericho?
Supposedly they're doing it to a lot more than just Jericho, man.
Yeah, I heard there's quite a few, and lawyers are telling them to like stop.
Yeah, which is
But didn't
there's-
AEW kind of do that with Hardy?
Jeffrey. I mean, yeah, it's hard, But that's the
Playing
thing.
devil's
They're going to do it
advocate.
both ways. You got it, but you have to.
But the majority of them were released by WWE, and he offered them deals.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Yeah.
But on on both ends, I just think no matter what, because it's sports, it's entertainment, it's all this stuff. There's gonna be contract tampering, and your lawyer just has to send a letter every now and again to like check somebody. It's not gonna do anything. It's just to kind of remind them, like, hey,
You're getting a
Tommy
little too
Fitz.
close.
right. You're too close, man.
All right. Want me to start off the which card? I got both pulled up.
You might
Well-
as well go in order. Go with, I guess, the one in Cardiff, right? Go that WWE
Yeah, Clash
verse.
of the Castle.
Yep, that's Saturday.
King in the castle. King in the castle.
Yep. I'm not gonna do main event first. Edge and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day.
Judgment Day probably
Judgment
gets
Day
a W.
needs a win.
Yeah,
They need
there's no way they can't not. There's no way they should lose.
Dominic turns. If that happens, it'll be that.
I like
Mm.
Vince's idea. Edge and Dominic turn.
Because the only other thing that would make sense is that somehow, like, maybe if it's just Dominic that turns, they have to, admit that Dominic is like into BDSM and he's like a submissive, and then Rhea Ripley's like his dommy mommy and she steps on him. Like, I think that's the only way they could I
That'd be
don't
the
know, like,
funniest thing in the world.
I feel like maybe she brainwashes him because she's being so like quasi sexual towards him.
She could brainwash anyone.
Right?
so
What did
Grandmaster
Cat's
from
kid say about that?
listen. So Grandmaster from YouTube.
Hi, honey.
Yeah.
If you're watching,
Hello, sorry.
Judging by how shocking Raw was, WWE need to sort it out. What do you mean by that? Sort what out exactly? I'm a little confused by that.
You just wow, that's definitely somebody from over in Europe. Sort
Edge
it
and
out.
Rey.
And Tara picks Edge and Ray.
I'm sorry.
I gotta go with Judgment Day also.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the
Nick?
next one?
Next is Gunther versus Sheamus.
Gunther.
Gunther Walter.
Gunther.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walter Gunther.
That's gonna be one hell of a match, regardless.
That match is gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll
be
be
hard
that'll be
hitting.
good.
hard hitting.
I can't
All
wait for the Drew McIntyre, like the back, just the damage each person's gonna take from that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All right, what's
yeah,
next?
Matt Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Riddle all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Riddle,
has
I
to.
think Riddle's got wins this one.
I'm gonna go Seth.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Freaking Rollins.
It could
contradictory.
go either way.
I mean, he lost like 17,000 times to Cody.
It's true.
Yeah. That is true as well.
When you start counting the amount of house shows that Cody beat him in, and then the shows that we watched,
I still feel like Riddle needs it more than Rollins does.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess, bro. All right, next.
Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky.
I think it's going with Bailey, Dakota
Yeah.
Sky, and Io Sky.
Yeah,
Yep.
Team Karen has to win this one. Yeah.
There'd be no point in bringing them all back, forming a faction, and having them lose.
Right.
Maybe under
They
Vince,
just
there's
lost.
a chance.
I just watched it before I got on. That's why it took me a while. I was watching Raw, and the new tag champs, like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we tackled that at the very beginning of the show.
I'm
Yeah, that
sorry,
was-
Steve. I
So
I
good.
apologize, Steve. I know how much you hate Aaliyah.
Oh my fucking god, dude!
I saw this shit. I said, "Oh, Steve's gonna flip."
Oh, you know we started with that shit, my friend. I was not happy.
I'm about to go back and watch the first 20 minutes. No.
Not even first
Right.
10.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Tara's going with Team Bailey. What's next?
Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler.
Liv Morgan's
Ooh.
got to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got to win, right?
I mean, she has to. I don't know but again, they're setting her up against a much stronger opponent. I feel like she's gonna get booed. Do they just do they just turn her heel at the fucking show? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with this girl.
Can we
Or
get a
maybe
go on.
Ronda interferes and sets up Ronda versus Shayna.
what if we get
Ooh.
Charlotte as well?
Oh, and what if you throw Samoa Joe into the mix?
What?
That's
Muscle
Kevin.
wrestling.
Kevin's back.
Oh, jeez, that'd be
Uh,
funny.
What's next?
The main event: Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
I gotta go with McIntyre.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eddie. I gotta go with McIntyre.
See, my usual thing is you can't bet against Roman and you can't bet against Charlotte. But man, I don't know. I might have to just go with Roman. Like one of those things where like my dad will put money on the Red Sox to win because he doesn't like them. So the idea is that if the Red Sox win, then he wins money and he feels okay. But then if he bets on them, then like he jinxed
love that
them
logic.
because he bet on them. Yeah. So then he's like, all right, well then I bet and I jinxed them and then they lost. So like maybe if I pick Roman, then I'll be fine either way. Either I get a point or, you know, I jinxed Roman and there was a title change. So
Tara says maybe McIntyre.
ooh.
Maybe. So she's still on the fence.
Wow.
All right. So now we got All Out.
Yep. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Gun. Sorry.
Wardlow,
The
FTR.
Pinnacle, baby. The Pinnacle. This is why I think MJF's coming back. The FTR specifically mentioned the Pinnacle, and that was the group that FTR and Wardlow had with MJF.
That'd be
So,
hard to.
It would be
I
hard
mean,
to
with the
jive,
whole
but I
feud.
just-
Can we delete that user right there?
That's
Eddie
Kevin.
wants this person banned. Kevin's banned.
I will
Oh,
say it
no.
will be nice to see Roman lose so he can take the wind out of his sail.
Very
All right.
nice.
What do we got?
All right. Tony Storm versus Dr. Breaker DMD versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida.
I think.
Apologize if I said it wrong.
And
Oh,
this is for the interim women's champion,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
It's
correct.
Tony time, baby.
Thunder
I think
Rosa.
it's
Tony
Tony. It's Tony time. I'm going
It's
with
Tony
Tony
time.
It's
Storm.
got to be Tony time, bro. Exactly. Or Jamie Hayter. The two I want to see win are the two that haven't had it before. Tony's my number one, but Jamie Hayter. I mean, first of all, goddamn Jamie Hayter. And second of all, she's been she's just been in the background with Britt Baker for so long. Like, she needs to do like. This might be the time where like Diesel turns on Shawn Michaels. You know, at this
Yeah.
pay-per-view. This is gonna. You know, I think.
Hey,
This
by the
Hayter,
way,
Britt Baker thing is on thin ice.
Kevin put this post up. This is actually a good call. I heard about this earlier. Anyone know why the fuck they would remove FTR from the AEW game?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did
so
see
there's a-
that.
There's a couple things that I've heard. One was that a lot of the audio and stuff that they recorded for crowd chants and promos and all that for the game were for when FTR were bad guys, and now they're good guys, and it wouldn't make sense to use it. And the
That's
other thing that I heard
Stupid.
was that they are having trouble because there are so many. You know, they kept adding people to this game as they got signed. Like Adam Cole got added, this one got. You know, they were adding people as they got signed to AEW contracts. And I guess they're not doing motion capture, which is a quicker way. That's what WWE does. These guys are hand animating the way that they used to do in the N64 games. They're hand animating the animations. It takes a longer amount of time. It sounds like they were having trouble with some tag team moves or some of FTR's signature moves and trouble getting them look right. So my hope is that they're just going to make they release the game with whoever's in it. There's 50 wrestlers.
Yeah.
Then they're just going to, if they release DLC, there should just be a 7-star FTR DLC right off the rip.
Yeah.
For those guys. And then, but it sucks that they're not in the original release, but at least it sounds like they've got motion capture, they got models, they've got what they need. They're just having trouble putting it all together.
For the crowd
Yeah,
chants,
Cody's in
though,
the game.
they didn't do a heel face thing. They just they're like, chant for insert here, chant this.
Okay.
When I went to Dynamite in Pittsburgh, All they
Oh, yeah,
came
you
out
were
and
there
said,
for
"We're
one of
recording
those."
for the game. If you
That's
want to be
awesome.
recorded, chant this for us.
Right,
and
right.
It'll
Okay.
be in the game."
Gotcha.
Yeah, I heard that too. You know, I think yes, they kept Cody in the game, but I think to Vince's point, more so than anything, it's the tag team moves.
Yeah.
If you can't do the majority of their signature moves and make them look good, then yeah, you're better off delaying them and take them out now. Maybe they can work on it and have it as just DLC
All right.
later on.
All right,
That's
I just
great.
call BS on that because you're gonna have the Young Bucks who have the most offensive tag team moves like ever, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a lot of their
Yeah,
shit in the game.
that's a valid point too.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
that you can't put the Big Rig or a couple classic tag team moves in the game and have them? I don't know. That's,
It's part of the unfortunate part of trying to develop a video game with a release date in mind. There's crunch. There's things you got to cut. There's
Mhm.
things, if you want that game out by Christmas, you gotta. Sometimes they gotta take the features out, which sucks. It really does suck.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna get the game out the door, and then at least they can say, hey, these guys are removed, but they're gonna be in the first DLC pack or something like that.
yeah,
And then
as
I'm
long as
cool
they have
with that,
I can't speak, downloadable content, then I'm fine with it, I guess.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have
not
to
one
be in
game
the game.
hasn't had any kind of tail.
Yeah. All right, cool.
The casino ladder match, there's no participants yet, though.
Right. No participants.
That's all right
no.
because if they have customs on the AEW game, I will make them the same way I made them on. There you go. Well, that's true too, and that's the beauty of community creations. And some of these creations are fucking amazing. Some of them are better than what's in the game. It's unreal.
Yeah,
true.
especially the community creations and those 2K community creations are insane.
Yeah, they're unreal. All right, what do we got next?
All right. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho.
I got to go with Bryan Danielson.
American Dragon all the
this
way.
match. Come on.
I'm excited for that match, regardless
Yeah, and
of the winner.
it's advertised American Dragon versus Lionheart, if I'm correct.
Which
I
tells me that Chris Jericho is going to put some fucking extra effort into this.
Yeah,
one,
And he's not going to come out to Judas.
Maybe.
You're so focused on the music.
Fuck you. No.
Enough with the Judas.
Listen, I want nothing more than Jericho to come back to WWE with Judas music, and I want to hear a WWE crowd fucking sing his
that'd
ass
be
down to
wild.
the ring. You know what I mean?
One last Mania match with Judas.
Yeah, for real. So, so I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan
Yep, same here.
or Bryan Danielson, excuse me. And Tara's gonna
Same
go with
difference.
Danielson.
It's just pretty much the same.
Well,
Listen,
whatever. I
JR does
was
the
the
same
big-
thing, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, JR gets a pass. He's JR.
Exactly.
We got Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed.
Swerve and your glory are
Swerve
keeping
in
the
our
belts.
glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're keeping
They
the
gotta
belt.
keep them.
Yeah.
They're keeping them warm for FTR.
Yep. Next, we got Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage.
Jungle Boy's
has
got to
win.
win.
After
Has
all
to
the
win.
shit that they've been through with the dead dads and the this and that. I mean, come on.
Unless you swerve with
I'm going to say the dinosaur's going to interfere.
Yeah.
And the dinosaur's going
Ooh.
to cause Jungle Boy to lose because he hasn't put his
boy.
hands yet on
The
Jungle
dinosaur.
Boy. Or he hasn't put his hands, should I say, on Christian. He hasn't
Yeah.
put his hands on Christian. So I'm going to
That's
say
true.
Dinosaur is with Christian. Christian gets the W. Bye-bye, Jungle Boy.
or at least you drag the feud out longer.
I gotta go with Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
man.
you could drag
Jungle
out one
Boy
more, I
is-
guess, and have it finish at full gear.
This is
Yep.
considered one of their biggest shows of the year, right? I gotta go with Jungle
This
Boy.
is like their
Yeah.
This is like their big show,
All right.
I think.
Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Ooh, I'm going to go Powerhouse.
Ooh. I want Ricky Starks. Man, Ricky Starks has been on
I want
fucking
Ricky
fire
Starks too.
lately.
Yo, but Powerhouse, bro. He's looks
He
like
is
money,
so
smells
big,
like
he's a
money.
monster.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go.
But both these guys, look at both these guys now. They were nothing a couple years ago, and now they're gonna be TNT champions, world champions.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks is cutting these promos.
Oh,
They
yeah, he's
sent Ricky
fine.
Starks out. This poor fucking guy had to go out there after Moxley and Punk had their 3-minute match, and the whole crowd was stunned. And they said, "Ricky, go out there." And he cut a promo and brought the whole crowd back to life. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I give him credit.
I gotta go with Starks.
He's a talent.
Powerhouse.
And last match is Jade Cargill versus Athena.
Oh, Jade Cargill.
I don't
I'll
know,
vote-
man. I think they might give it to Athena.
I'll vote for Eric and say Athena since he's not here.
Right? But the only reason I say that is because I think, well, you got Indra Stark's
There we go,
neck. I
there we
see
go.
what you mean. Yeah, that could be the
So,
story. 'Cause
Wow.
it's-
Kevin thinks Powerhouse. Tara thinks Starks, and
Yeah.
Kevin also thinks Jade.
Yeah, because Jade, I think the plan was for Statlander to dethrone Jade.
Yeah.
But,
But she
then
got
again,
hurt.
they could just go, okay, well, it was Statlander and Athena's her partner, so Athena could do it, which would be fine. I just think Jade, it would be
Jade
deflating
is
to me if
undefeated
Athena
too,
beat
right?
Jade. What's
Yeah.
that?
Jade's
Yeah.
still undefeated, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Jade's still undefeated, so I feel
Yeah,
like
you know
it's
what?
really
I
gotta be-
changed my. I go back. I'm going back. I'm going with Jade. I'm changing my pick
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like she's got to keep that for a little while.
because I think
Who
that
said Athena
undefeated
did?
streak is going to go for a while.
Yeah.
I do.
That's what I think. She's already at 30 something. They're going to keep.
I
they might
forgot
keep that
about
going.
that.
Yeah, they're gonna try to break
Listen,
Goldberg's
she does
record.
get better and better every week. I have to. I give her that. Like,
Oh
she,
yeah, for sure.
you know, and now the whole thing with the manager and everything, it works. I like what they're doing with her. So
Any other matches there, Ryan?
Nope, that was it.
That
Look
was
at
it. And we'll
that.
find out on
Outside of the
Dynamite what main
possible
event's gonna
Punk
be.
versus Moxley for the AEW title,
Yep.
but
I'm gonna
that's
say,
not
Very well could
official.
be.
I'm gonna say Punk versus Moxley is probably gonna happen, and Punk's gonna go over and then turn heel the next night.
Yeah, or that
Or
either
next
that night or
next
the next night. I feel like you're right. It's Punk. Punk wins in Chicago to get the big Chicago moment, but turns heel.
We'll
Does
see.
something probably good heel tactic, wins, gets the crowd pop, turns heel Wednesday.
Hits him right in the penis, right in the pernit. Sorry, I watched some New Girl with my wife.
AEW is going to keep Jade record like Goldberg. I think he's right.
Yeah.
True.
I think he's right.
That's a good idea.
And on that note,
It's the
Hey,
top
man.
of the. Oh, it's way past the top of the hour.
Yep.
Yeah, man, we're past the top of the hour. Thank you
We're
guys
at
for
overtime.
tuning in and sticking with us here for another edition of the War Report. We go live 6 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday nights. Daylight Savings Time will be coming up in a couple months. We'll let you know when to adjust your clocks if you need to. But 6 p.m. Tuesday nights, we stream on Twitter and Periscope. We stream on Twitch. We stream on Facebook, and we stream on YouTube all at once. We multi-stream to all these platforms. Pick your favorite one. Most of our social media is at Tag Me A Date. That's Tag Me A Date with no spaces. Twitch.tv/War Report for the Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/War Report. The YouTube is Tag Me a Date. Search for it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to get notified when we go live or upload a video. And if you prefer an audio version, you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We're on all those social media platforms. Just search for @TagMeADate. If you prefer the audio version of a podcast rather than the video version, go to your favorite podcast app such as Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud. Excuse me, Apple
Bless you.
Podcasts and Google Play Podcasts. The Achoo is not an app yet, but it will be. It'll track your sneezes for the government.
They
But
already
anyway,
do that.
find your favorite podcast app. Look for Tag Me Date or look for the War Report. If you search for the War Report, be aware there are 2 podcasts called the War Report. They both talk about pro wrestling. Just look at the graphic and look at the description. The graphic is going to have Tag Me a Date in it. The description is going to have Tag Me a Date. The description will have the names of Steve, Vince, myself. You know what I mean? You're going to know which one it is. We've also been doing it for a lot longer. So if you look at how long we've been up, on the internet as opposed to the other War Report, you'll be able to figure out which one's which when you're subscribing. All right, cool. So thanks, Kevin, for hopping in the chat there. Thanks, Tara, for hopping in the chat. If you have
Yes,
friends that
awesome.
like wrestling, spread the word. Let your friends know there's a podcast. They don't have to tune in live if they don't want to, but it is always cooler to have some people in the chat throwing some opinions around, throwing their questions in, and the chat keeps the conversation going. So if you know anybody that wants to hop in the chat and talk some wrestling Tuesday nights, let them know about our podcast. Share the link. We're going to be back next Tuesday with another show, 6 p.m. on Eastern time, Tuesday evenings. It's the War Report, baby. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.